Good morning. Good morning, my loves. Good morning, my loves. I hope you all are good and are having a good day. And good day, good morning, good evening. Alrighty. There was a bit of a hiccup in my schedule. Due to clients who are not prepared for their own consultations. So then I have so much time today. All right, so I've been thinking about something. If you're new here, hi, welcome to my page. Just know that I ramble, I don't get to the point, I talk a lot, and I say a whole lot of things, right? And even now, I don't even know what I'm going to be talking about. I honestly don't know what this video is about, but I'm just here. I felt the nudge to record today. So yeah, stay at your own risk. By the end of this video, I would have figured out a title which will be up here. So stay at your own risk. And then for those who are new here, before you jump into my inbox, I say this all the time, and yet people are in my inboxes. Before you jump into my inbox, take the time to watch my videos. The questions you have are there. There are plenty of videos that I've made that will answer your questions. There are people who have watched many of my videos, and every single video answers something of a question that they had. If you stop being lazy and stop wanting to be spoon-fed and just go through the videos. For those who have went a bit through the videos, I'm not saying you should watch all of them, because I just counted the other day that there are 100 and something. I'm not saying you should watch all of them, but I'm saying watch a bit of them, right? For those who have taken the time to watch the videos, who respect my time before they bother me in the inboxes, and you feel like you want to book a consultation, you're more than welcome to inbox me. I will then share the price list, because I don't just have one price for one consultation. And then you can email me. The links are found there. The email link is found on TikTok bio and on YouTube. I've written it down on YouTube as well. And then for those of you who want to prepare yourself and want to see the prices beforehand, because we don't hide anything here, there's a link on TikTok which has my website. On the website, there are prices. Go to categories and packages or something like that, products or something like that, you will see the prices. Now, to those who go to the website, you can't book on the website. No one can instantly book a consultation with me, because we need to go through terms and conditions. People have read the terms and conditions and decided they don't want to proceed with the consultation. And it's okay. It makes the job easier for me and them. Okay. So that's out of the way. And just to put this out there, I don't know everything, right? I don't know everything, and I will never claim to know everything. That's just the reality of it. So lately, I've been noticing a particular trend in the astral realms and the dream realms, where people are approaching me as if like, I think I know better. No, I don't think I know better. I don't even know better. I don't even know what I'm doing here. Right? To those who feel like I think I know better, or I don't know if these people are the spiritual people or what, I just could not pinpoint who they are. But there seems to be this energy of people like, I don't even want to use the word jealous, but people who are just bitter, angry with me for some reason, and I don't even know why, right? So if you are part of those people and watching this, just know that I don't know better. I don't even pretend like I know better. I just share what I know. The little that I know, I share it with people. So don't be bothered. So please, people, to those others, don't be bothered by me sharing information that is helping other people. Instead, we should all celebrate because people are getting help, right? I'm not taking clients from anyone. I'm not pretending to know every single thing. Hence, that's why I've even been saying to people that I don't specialize in traditional stuff. And if they have traditional issues, they should consult with someone else. Being honest, I won't just take people's money knowing very well that I can't help them. Right? Okay, now. Okay, where do I start with this? Time. Right? I've made a lesson. I just don't remember what the cover is on time, on divine timing. I don't even know if it was a proper lesson. I think it was just one of those rambling videos that I do on divine timing, right? But I don't want to talk about divine timing today. Maybe I might touch on divine timing, but that's not the purpose. That's not why I want to be here. Time, right? People say time is an illusion. Time is not real. And then when people say this, they also talk about the calendars and say that those are not real. We are out of harmony because of the calendars. I've said so many videos about the calendars. I'm not going to go into it. I've already made videos about what I believe in and how I count and how I keep track of my cycles. I've made many videos of that, so I'm not going to go into that. So please, people, stop asking me if whether you should use the Ethiopian calendar, if the Gregorian calendar, or whether you should use what. I don't know. Decide what you want to use. Now, time. They say time is an illusion. Time is not real. To some extent, they are real. They are telling the truth. To some extent, they are telling the truth. I'm gonna recount this. I've not observed this before 2020, but I started really observing this after 2020. Now, in 2020, from 2020 till 2025, let's say from 2020 until December 2024, time had been moving in a fast pace. It had been moving so fast for me. And I started noticing that I would be like days ahead. When people on a Monday, I'm already on a Saturday. Time was moving relatively fast for me. And a lot of things were happening so quick. So many things were happening so quick at the short space of time. And exactly from 2021 to 2024, in exactly 4 years, I did so much work. And I did the work that a person, it will take them so many years to do. I healed generational lines. I cleared karmic debts. I did shadow work. I did ancestral work. Hey, I did so many things. Not only that, also helping other people with their own stuff, right? But time felt like it was moving so fast. It was just like, boom, we are in another year. Boom, we are in another year. Boom, we are in another year. To the point that, oh my gosh, there's a white butterfly. Oh. To the point that even when I think back from those 4 years, it's as if like all those events happened in 1 year. That's how fast time was moving for me. And then I then told you that in this year, the beginning of 2025, I was tired, I was exhausted, and the exhaustion that I felt wasn't like a physical exhaustion. It was a spiritual. I felt it deep in my soul. but which makes sense because the work that I did can take a person a lifetime to do. And I did it in just the space of 4 years, right? And I really, really dedicated my time to nothing else but my spiritual work, right? So obviously my soul was tired. Like I was tired. Like if I say I'm tired, it wasn't even the physical body that was tired. It was the soul. I did not even have motivation to continue. And so that's when I took 3 months off to recuperate and rest. But within that 3 months, as I told you guys before, there was also a lot of rewiring of the brain that needed to happen. Now, in the quantum leap video, I told you that when you're quantum leaping, there's also within the 3 months, I had to let go of the baggage. I had to let go of anything that was holding me down, right? I told you that if you're carrying a lot of things, a lot of baggage, when you quantum leap, you only quantum leap shortly. It's like you move a little bit. But when you don't have anything weighing you down, you quantum leap further, right? And the reason why many of you, your quantum leaps are not happening properly or as effectively as they should is because you're still holding on to a lot of baggage. Just like, think about it, if you have heavy bags on you, you don't walk fast, you walk slower. Whereas a person who doesn't have any bags on them walk faster and longer. Even if we're doing high jump, or what is it that called where they jump, right? A person who has heavy things on them will not jump far, but a person who doesn't have anything is lighter and can jump further. So that's the leap that needs to happen, that leaps you into a new reality, does not happen when there's so much baggage in your life. And so for me, I noticed that. I was like, there's so many things that are weighing me down energetically and I need to remove them. So I went through a period where I started with my phone. I looked at my phone numbers and I was like, on this phone, apart from clients, right, I only have, how many people? I think at that time, I only had 4 or 5 people. I was like, I only have 5 people that if my life were to fall apart, I will call them and they will be there for me. And the remainder of the people, I don't even know what they're doing in my energetic field. So I started clearing all my contacts, right? And I think I left a few of the contacts of the 2 business associates that I had that I was finishing up their contracts, knowing that once I'm done with their contracts, I'm also going to clear their contacts. I think at some point, I was left with 8 contacts on my phone. That included family members and a few friends. And I've never been happy. And that's when I started the whole thing of, once I'm done with the person's work, I delete their number. Once a person comes for a consultation and I've done the work that I need to do for them, I delete their number and move on. And the more I did that, the more it was as if like, because when people come in, I take on their energy. I energetically connect with them. I do the spiritual work for them. But as soon as I start to release them by also deleting the phone contacts, meaning that I don't even see their status, I don't see anything, what then happens is that I energetically remove them from my field. And then all spiritual connections are cut off. And they can continue with their life. That just made life so much lighter for me, right? So that's where I started. Once I got that right, I started clearing all my emails. I think I was left with 4 emails. On all my email accounts, I just started clearing, and unsubscribing to a whole lot of things. And then I then went to the pictures. I started with the pictures on my phone. Because as I told you before, I had so many people who were old people that I had not even talked to for years. People that I have not even seen for 4 or 5 years. Some I had not even talked to for 10 years. And yet I still had their pictures. I was still holding on to those memories. So I started clearing. I started even clearing memories from high school. Like all my pictures from high school, I cleared them. Every single thing that I had of my childhood or whatever, I just cleared them. I just deleted them. Because some didn't have good memories. Yes, they were good pictures, but memories that were attached to them were not good for me. And I was adamant that my quantum leap is a new life. Right? And so I cleared everything. And then went into social media. And I started clearing also pictures on social media, deleting, going into the archives. I was just taking 2 to 3 hours a day and just deleting, to a point that Instagram even had to stop me for some time and say, no, you've done enough deleting. Wait a little bit, right? I started deleting accounts, unsubscribing to accounts that I didn't know why I had subscribed to. I just started doing a whole lot of cleaning of my life digitally. What we don't understand is that digitally, like the internet is all sort of like the ether. It holds an energy of its own, right? And digitally, it holds so much weight that it affects our lives. So when people don't have a big of a social media presence or internet presence, they seem to have a life that's different to people who have a big social media presence. Anyway, that's a topic for another day. So now I started clearing. And I remember when I finished, because Instagram was the hardest because I had to do things one by one. And I remember when I finished, it felt like a huge load was lifted off my shoulders. And then I said to myself, anyone who needs me, they'll contact me. And if I need them, there were certain people who I knew that, okay, I still want to keep their numbers, but I don't want to be seeing them in my field. So I just wrote their numbers in a diary for in case if I ever need to contact them for something. But eventually the diary abandoned. And then I went through the burning of my diaries and books and stuff, right? Because words are memories. They are spells and they create life. And I realized that I had created so many events in my life by writing them down in my diary. To a point that I don't even write negative dreams. If there's a negative dream or I have something that's negative in a dream, I don't write it down. Because it's as if like I want it to materialize. So I'm very careful. Only those dreams that are positive, those are the dreams that I write. But even lately, I don't write dreams as much as I used to. Alright, I had to go receive my delivery. Okay, so as I said, I hardly write negative stuff because I don't know if it applies to everyone, but I've noticed that things that I write becomes a reality. And they become a reality very fast. So I don't just write things down for the sake of writing. Fine. And then it was now we're preparing for the quantum leap, right? Now we're starting to prepare for the quantum leap. And June, we leaped. We leaped to a certain direction. And when we leaped there for the next 2 months, I realized that there was still some stuff that I needed to let go of. And I started doing the rest of the other shedding, of letting go of certain things and just also aligning myself with the new life. Because I then started noticing that I was also receiving a whole lot of people who were coming in for consultations and what, and I needed to align properly with these people. And then August, we did another quantum leap. Right? Now, in the quantum leaps, the 3 quantum leaps that I did, I then started noticing that, as I said, from 2020, for the past 4 years, life was moving fast. But in the process of quantum leaping, time even moved faster. Time even moved so fast. I was doing so many things at the same time, but things were happening so quick. Every single thing, it was as if like it was jump, 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 jump. Right? Everything was happening so quick. I could not even keep up with the time. At this point, I didn't even know what day of the week it was. I didn't even know what time it is that's when I was like, no, I need to create a calendar. If I don't work with my calendar, I'm gonna go crazy. So hence, that's why every single thing I do needs to be on my calendar. If it's not on my calendar, then just know that I'm not going to focus on it, because I could not keep up. The only thing I know is that the calendar says it's the 17th. Okay, a person says they want a consultation on the 19th, we just book them there. But it's what day of the week, I didn't even know. Right? And everything was happening so fast. Events were moving so fast and everything. And then came a period recently, and this period came especially after the Leo Gate. After the portal, the Leo Gate portal, a shift in reality happened. It's as if like now I was living in a new reality. A shift in reality happened where time started slowing down. Right? Even one of my mentees said to me the other day, she's like, yo, Asmaputi. She was watching the videos before the Leo Gate. The ones where I was saying that my grandfather came and he kept on saying, calm down, calm down. Because I was just going crazy with all these people who were just being funny on social media. And he had to calm me down, And she said, yo, your grandfather did such a good job. Because the videos then and the videos now, your energy has went down. And that happened immediately after the Leo Gate, right? With the Leo Gate, it's as if really I did go through a portal. And I was in a different reality. In this reality, time started slowing down. There was no need to rush anything. Time started slowing down. I started becoming more at peace and more calmer. And I started, like, things were, my nose are itching. And things were not as hectic as they used to be, but I was living like on a day, let me make an example. On a day where I would have on a normal day, my schedule would be so busy, I would have so many things. By the time I go to bed, by the time I look at the time, it's already 11 and I don't even know what I did, right? The only thing I remember was a consultation. Whereas I started doing the very same work that I was doing. I would do it, but be done by 1. And then now I'm starting to wonder, what do I do with my life now? Because I'm just used to always being busy, but nothing had changed. The same amounts of time, I still had them for consultation. I still had mentees. I even had more consultations, more mentees, and more everything. But it's as if things where time had slowed down. When I only had 8 hours in a day, it's as if I had 16 hours in a day. Everything just became slower. But I got so much done in a short space of time, and I was still left with so much time. And now I'm in a new reality. Everything is slow, and I'm used to a fast-paced. I'm used to always doing things boom, 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 boom. Now I have to now get used to the slow energy. I have to now find things to do outside of the spiritual work. But now I'm in this new reality. I don't have friends in that new reality. I'm on top of that. I'm in a new country. I don't know anyone in that country. And there's also timeline difference, time zone difference. The only people I can talk to is the ones that I talk to on my phone who keep me busy, and those are how many are those? Those are 3 or 4 people outside of my mentees that I speak to on a regular, right? So now time had shifted, and it started out slowly until it got to a point where now it's even worse. Every single thing is happening in slow motion. It's as if like every single thing around me is moving slower, but yet I'm moving at a normal pace. I don't know if I'm making sense. I hope I'm making sense, and I hope this helps someone. And then I started understanding that time is not what we think it is. I still don't fully get it, but time is not what we think it is. And time can be controlled. Time can actually be controlled, right? Right now, I'm not sure who's controlling the time that I'm in, but time is doing things that I never thought it possible. Also, I've started noticing that there's a blurry line between reality, between the normal reality that everyone is used to, and the spiritual. Like, they intertwine at certain points. They keep intertwining and becoming one in my reality, right? And this happens a lot to when I'm at the point where someone will say something to me, and I'm like, no, but we already had that conversation. You and I have already talked about that. Or people will tell me things that I already know. I don't even know how I know them. But this is not a thing of just knowing. No, it is things that already have happened. So it's as if like I'm living a few days ahead of people. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, that's how I've picked it up. It's as if like I'm a few days ahead of people, maybe even 3 weeks ahead of people. When people are on a particular week, and hence that's why I don't even know what dates. I don't even know what week it is. I don't even know what's happening. Because the only time, it's as if like I'm living my reality is a few weeks ahead of other people, normal people's reality. And so when they say certain things to me, I've already lived those experiences. And I even have to catch myself and say, because I have conversations with people, but I don't actually really have the conversations with them in life. And when they come to me and say, Asma, but you know, I've been thinking, I've been going through this. I'm like, we've already talked about that. And they're like, no, we didn't. I'm like, you've already talked about that. And so when people ask me stuff, I've already responded to them, but physically in the reality that they're in, I have not made the response. So I have to consciously remind myself to go back and actually talk to people, give them and confirm with them physically that did we have this conversation? And the person will be like, no, not yet. And I'm like, okay, do you want us to have this conversation now? And they'll be like, yeah, I was actually planning to come talk to you about it. And I'm like, okay, let's have the conversation, because I've already had the conversation with you. Right? So now the reality, and that's why they say it's a reality shift. So I'm in a different reality. Now, I do not know if this is the 4th dimensional reality. I'm still researching it. I'm still trying to figure out. Okay, let me say that I've been operating in the 4th dimensional reality for some time now, right? That's a normal reality for me. So now I'm not sure if I've started entering the 5th dimension. Yes, that's what I want to say. I'm not sure if I've started entering the 5th dimension reality. I know I'm no longer operating the 3rd dimension. The 3rd dimension, I keep going and picking in because I need to see certain things about clients, but I know I don't operate in I know I don't operate in the 3rd dimension, right? So I don't know if I've already started tapping into the 5th dimension, And I think I started tapping into the fifth dimension at the portal. I think that's when I opened the portal to the fifth dimension for myself, due to the cleansings that I did, and even the type of ancestry that I was now dealing with for myself, for my own lineage, soul lineage, were different people from the ones that I had been dealing with before. And the ones that I had been dealing with before, they're still there. Not that nothing has changed, but there was a new level. Either some had upgraded to a new level. I started feeling them in a whole higher level. And then there were new entities and new beings of a higher level as well. Right? So now, I think I had just started the fifth dimension, and every single thing is slower. Nothing moves as fast as the third dimension. The fourth dimension also moves fast. I don't know. I don't even know if, I think from 2020 to 2024, I was in the fourth dimension. The way everything was happening so fast. I was operating at a dimension that is not common. Right? And lately, the dimension that I'm in, things are different. And it's more magical. It's more spiritually, it's also spiritually different. Not a lot is required spiritually. Like, it's not like I have to wake up like in that in the previous dimension, you know, the 3 a.m. prayers, 9 p.m. prayers, like I had dedicated time prayers. I had to light a candle. Now I don't even need a candle to do the work that I need to do. I don't even remember the last time I actually lit a candle and had an official prayer before I started a consultation. No, there is no such a thing as that we are starting now. Because once I'm done with another person's ancestors and I've delivered the message and they've said, no, I'm happy, at a certain time during the day before the sun sets, I start sensing the presence of the ancestors of the person who I'm doing the next consultation for tomorrow. I start sensing their ancestors and they start talking to me. So there's no such a thing that, hey, I have to now welcome them in. Hey, what? No such. They just come in, we talk. And it's just a normal thing. They're there. Sometimes they come in, talk to my own ancestors, have nice conversations with them. At night, give me 1 or 2 dreams about that person. And then in the morning, we start. No prayers, no nothing, no candles, no nothing. We just start. And then I deliver the message and then we continue. The reality is different. Not saying you shouldn't pray. You should continue to pray. But I pray. I have times where I still pray. But it's not as intense as it was before. Right? And then also the energy that I harness, the energy that I use is not necessarily the energy that I used to have to use the candles in order to do this, have to use this in order to do this. Crystals illuminate. I even use more crystal light than I do use candle light. Right? But the reality is different. And sometimes I notice it even when I go to places and I interact with people, or certain people, when they see me, they can see that, like, you can see people looking at you like you are a foreign person. Well, I am a foreigner where I am, but they look at you like you are not of their reality, or you come from a different planet, maybe. So time is an illusion, but I think time is also a key. Nothing on earth is a coincidence. Nothing that has been put on earth by the divine beings who created this earth is a coincidence. And they knew when time was created that it will serve a purpose, right? It serves a purpose. People are able to manage their schedules, are able to do a lot of things. But in spirituality, there's a different type of time. In spirituality, there's an added level to time. And the time is counted via perspective. I don't know how we even get there, but the time is counted via perspective, shift in perspective, shift in reality. And then eventually it starts now no longer, time no longer exists. Everything moves at a vibrational motion. And if your vibration and your energy is that of serenity and peace, everything moves in serenity and peace and comfort. I think that's where I am now. Every single thing is moving in serenity and peace. I have so much peace. Oh, I have so much peace in my life. I have so much peace, and not peace due to the fact that certain people, no, I have peace within. There's like an innate peace inside of me that I will never trade with anyone. I have found the peace that surpasses all understanding. Yes, that's what they call it, the peace that surpasses all understanding. Right? And this peace didn't come magically on its own. But I think I'm also doing this to, many of you are preparing, many of you are working hard on your quantum leaps. Many of you are working hard preparing for a new reality. Right? From 2021, some of you are going to start having new realities even before 2021. There will be a shift happening even before 2021. Even before 2026, which is year 1, right? But from year 1 to year 9, many of you are going to be doing multiple quantum leaps. Multiple quantum leaps. We always talk about, I always teach you about how to get there, what you need to do to prepare. But there's already many of you who are already leaped or are about to leap, and you need to know how to act in the reality. So I've already made a video about getting accustomed to the new realities and everything. But now, when you are there, you will also start noticing time starts to shift. Time will start to shift. You will then start noticing yourself moving dimensionally, time-wise. And things, a lot of things will seem slower. Some things will seem, nothing will seem, it's not even slow, man. I don't want to use the word slow because it's not slow. The reality is that things are moving, but they're moving in a peaceful state, in a serene and tranquil state. Like, you know, when people are doing Tai Chi and they move like the water and they like move, you know? It is something like that. It is moving in alignment, in an energetic flow. There's a rhythm to the earth. There's a rhythm. There's a song rhythm to the earth. And when you get to a certain dimension, you start to get acquainted with the rhythm. You know, for us as Africans, we know how to dance, right? Some of us are not the best dancers, but we know how to get into rhythm. And so, you know, when you find a group of people and you don't even know how they do the dance move and you can't pick it up. I remember seeing this video on TikTok. I hardly watch videos on TikTok. On Instagram. And this guy was in Lebanon or some Middle Eastern country, and they were doing their traditional dances. You know, they were doing them with the sticks and everything. And this black guy, I think he's South African, that guy, the way he got in. He just got in and started dancing. And eventually, after a while, he was making a few mistakes here and there. But eventually, after a while, he just literally got the rhythm. and the moves, and he was moving in that alignment with them right now. So I think also that's what happened when you are when you start the 40. You come to a point where, because I did say in one of the videos, the recent videos, that many of you are going to now start operating in the 40. You come to a point where there's a rhythm. You will get out of it, into it, out of it, into it, out of. Sometimes you find yourself aligned with the rhythm. Sometimes you find yourself not aligned with the rhythm. And it will be like a dance. And eventually, unknowingly how it happened, you will start to move in cohesion with the rhythm. Right? You will start to move with the rhythm. And you know how it is. You know how in African cultures or indigenous cultures is. When we dance, we start slow, slow, slow. The tempo picks up, it picks up, it picks up. And eventually the dance starts to change. Because now everyone is in flow. Right? It's also in chanting. People start at a certain point. Or in ceremonial dance. When a person who conducts ceremonial dance, they need to move the rhythm to the point that everyone is vibrating at the same level. And that the person who controls that is the one who controls the beats, the drumming, the everything, right? A person who's properly connected when they do the drums, whether it's the drum, the flute, or whatever that they use. A person who has the gift of, what is it called? The gift of sound. When they tap into that wave, automatically they direct the energy of everyone to tap into that wave. Now, this is not only the energy of the people who are dancing, but every single person who's attending that ceremony also gets on the same wavelength and vibration. And it's only a few people that I've met who I think I talked about it in the Shamatic drum video, that know how to ignite the energy and change the vibration to the point that every single person, whether spiritually or not spiritually, gets into a certain vibration. And you get into that vibration, you can feel yourself moving in that vibration. You even start to ask yourself, I'm not in control of how my body moves or how I move, but I do know that whatever is happening is a good vibration. And it's only a few people that can get it, that can get to that, right? So in the new realities that you are going into, many of you that are preparing for, there's a shift, there's a rhythm that you will need to get accustomed to. And there's a song and a dance that you will hear. And eventually there will come a point where every single thing will seem peaceful in your life, where every single thing will seem calmer, serene, tranquil, in an alignment, where you won't even have to work hard to prove a point, where you won't even have to work hard to please anything, where you won't even have to work hard to manifest things into your reality, that you won't even have to work to manifest. I don't work. I hardly do any manifestations. Things just materialize in my life based on my alignment. Things are just coming based on the alignment that I'm in. Right? If I think of something and say, you know what, maybe next month this is what I want, or this is where I want to be, this is the country that I want to be, these are the things I want to be doing, those things start materializing. I don't know how, I don't know where the money comes from, I don't know. It's some stuff I don't even need to pay for them. Things just happen. Right? I don't manifest, everything just materializes because it's already there. I just call it into existence. I'm also still understanding this power. I'm still trying to understand it, because then I can just call anything into existence. So I'm also very careful about how I use the abilities and the powers that I'm finding myself in. Right? I did not, and I didn't do anything special to get here. I'm not here because I'm special.